Is there a need for our products? Well, of course, you have to have a need for your product or else you don't have a business. And there is a tremendous need for our products. Tremendous. Unfortunately, we're living in a very, toxic environment, through synthetics, through our diet, through saturated fats, through radiation of cell phones and pesticides and atmospheric contamination, sun rays, ultraviolet rays, even metals in transitional metals. They're very, toxic. And the thing is, it's not necessarily the toxins that are the problem. It's the fact that we accumulate toxins in our body and we don't have the ability to eliminate them. And the toxins accumulate in the deepest levels of the body, inside the cells, inside the mitochondria of the cell. And the thing is, as these toxins accumulate, we get chronic degenerative diseases. And that's a big issue. That's a big issue. We need to be able to clean out our body from the deepest levels. And yes, there are a lot of antioxidants on the market, but how absorbable are they? Do they reach the cell? Do they reach the mitochondria? The mitochondria, targeting that mitochondria today is the holy grail in science. And you know what? We have the technology to be able to do that. As a matter of fact, we have an active ingredient that is the only active ingredient in the world shown to function inside the mitochondria. And that's thanks to our scientific division, which is now SANKI Mayer. SANKI Mayer has operations in France, we have operations in Japan, we have operations in Mexico, now in the United States. And one of the things that's by design that's really interesting, very intelligently, our scientific division select ingredients that have been in our diet for thousands of years. Why is that? Because if an ingredient or a plant has been in our diet for thousands of years in the majority of the population, then our DNA can recognize that plant, that ingredient, and be able to utilize it. It knows what to do with it. It's able to process it properly. So let's talk about some of our active ingredients. Our first one is Orisod enzyme 3. Orisod stands for olive, rosemary, increase, SOD. SOD is superoxide dismutase. We'll talk about that in a second. It's based on olive leaf extract and rosemary extract. Now, if you research rosemary and olive leaf on Google, you'll find that the scientific community has done a lot of studies on these two plants, and they have been shown to have tremendous benefits to the human body. Now, what we're doing is we're cultivating our own olive leaf. We're cultivating our own rosemary. We have plantations in Spain and in France, 100% organic, no genetic modification. We even have Japanese irrigation technology which increases the concentration of nutrients in the leaves. Our rosemary has 3 times more nutrients than standard rosemary in the market. So 2 plants proven to have tremendous benefits to the human body. And now what we're able to do is apply technology to these extracts, and the first technology is fermentation technology, which is very important, has 15 years of research and development, so that we can take the antioxidants and nutrients in these leaves and make them extremely bioavailable. So we cultivate the leaves, we have a laboratory in France, we extract the nutrients using an aqueous process, which means there's no hydrocarbons used. So they're very natural, very rich, very potent. And then what we do is we apply this fermentation technology to increase the bioavailability. Our body needs to ferment nutrients before utilizing them. So when you're able to ferment nutrients before ingesting them, it's a big benefit, especially for people who have problems with digestion and absorption. People with digestive problems will still receive the full benefit of our products because our active ingredients use this fermentation technology. So Orisod enzyme 3 is a high technology antioxidant compound derived from olive leaf extract and rosemary extract. It's the latest generation of nutraceuticals. Then we take that active ingredient and we apply nanotechnology. What is nanotechnology? Well, a nanometer is a measurement. It's quite simple, really. It means working with material and substances at a very minuscule level, a very small level. To give you an idea, a virus is 24 to 30 nanometers in size. 24 to 30. You know, a nanometer is 1/1,000,000th of a millimeter, if you can imagine. Can you imagine dividing a millimeter in 1,000,000 parts? Well, that's a nanometer. And when nutrients are reduced in size to such a minuscule scale, atoms and molecules develop a stunning and powerful property, which are new and unique. So we're taking the olive leaf extract and the rosemary extract. It's passing through a nanotechnology process, through a fermentation process, which gives us the ability to reach the deepest levels in the body, the mitochondria, the holy grail in scientific research today. So we have these extracts that have gone through the fermentation process, and we're encapsulating them into these nanospheres. These nanospheres are trademarked and patented as ADS, Advanced Delivery System, which takes the nutrients through the bloodstream to the cell. They can then penetrate the cell and penetrate the mitochondria, neutralize the toxins and the free radicals at the deepest levels of the body, reactivating our master antioxidants. Now, our body produces enzymes called SOD, superoxide dismutase, and glutathione. These two enzymes are master antioxidants. They're much more powerful than any other antioxidant that you'll find on the, externally on the market. And these enzymes maintain the mitochondria clean, the cell clean on an ongoing basis. And with our product, we're able to reactivate the SOD and glutathione in the body. So through these nanocapsules, we have controlled delivery time, which takes the nutrients to specific sites in the body where it's needed most. And it's also protected from stomach acid so that we can get full benefit. What's happening here is we're getting 99.9% absorption of the nutrients. You know, if you buy capsules and tablets in the vitamin store, you're only going to absorb 5 or 10, maybe 20% of what you're buying. The rest you flush down the toilet. Here, you're getting your bang for your buck. Talk about value. You're absorbing 99.9% of the nutrients at the cellular and mitochondrial level. A lot of bang for your buck. Apart from the fact that we're reaching the deepest levels in the body, the rosemary extract has nutrients which are really special. They're multiple action antioxidants. You know, if we compare them to vitamin E, one molecule of vitamin E can neutralize one free radical, and then it's done. But the antioxidants, in rosemary have a multiple action effect, which means that one molecule of rosemary antioxidant can neutralize 4 toxins. That makes it 400% more effective and more powerful than, for instance, vitamin E. And that's incredible because we're delivering these powerful antioxidants, these multiple action antioxidants, into the deepest levels of the body and neutralizing the toxins and allowing the body and helping the body eliminate these toxins completely. So what are the benefits? Well, Orisod enzyme 3 is being imported from Europe to the Americas by SANKI. And our brand is called Belage, which means beautiful age, because it's a antioxidant, anti-aging product. Now, with this product, again, we reactivate the natural master antioxidant enzymes in the body. We improve circulation, microcirculation and macrocirculation within our bloodstream, reducing caramelization. We also are increasing the cellular hydration, which is very important, because as the mitochondria reactivate, they start burning sugar and fat again. You know, a mitochondria is an oven. It's the ovens in our cells. That's where we produce our energy. The mitochondria burn sugar and fat to produce energy, and a byproduct of that is water. Now, what starts to happen with age, as we're accumulating toxins, is the mitochondria get full of these toxins, and there's microinflammation. And when the mitochondria are inflamed, they stop functioning, which means what? They start burning sugar and fat. Now, luckily, we have a lot of mitochondria in our body. As a matter of fact, they say that the dry weight of the human body is almost 50% mitochondria. You can imagine that. Now, with time, if they keep shutting down, suddenly we have an abundance of sugar and fat in the body, and that's when degenerative diseases start taking hold. So our brand is Belage, and that also increases energy, because as the mitochondria reactivate and start producing more energy, you feel more energy. And it's natural energy. We're not talking about stimulation. We're not talking about stimulants. We're not talking about the central nervous system. There are absolutely no stimulants in this product whatsoever. But what it does is clean out the body, cleans house, if you will, keeps the house clean, and enables the body to metabolize sugar and fats at a much more efficient rate. And you don't need much of it. You know, one stick envelope, which has 100 milligrams of the active ingredient, Orisod enzyme 3, has 14, and I don't use this word very often, 14 quadrillion, which is 1,000 trillion nanospheres of nutrients and antioxidants, which are delivered, you know, to where we need them most to reactivate the master antioxidants. And you know, that's enough to nourish our entire body. One envelope, one portion is enough to nourish our entire body. It has a lemon-lime flavor. It's sweetened with a stevia, the natural sweetener. It's 100% natural ingredients, organic, no genetic modification, and very, 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 very powerful. People get results very, very quickly. But there's a second product that I want to touch on, which has to do a lot with our diet. You know, we talked about our environment and the toxicity. Well, you know, one of those areas has to do with diet. Unfortunately, these days we're consuming large quantities of sugar and, of course, saturated fats. But you know, the sugar is a major problem. They say that the human body can metabolize 15 grams of sugar a day, but people are consuming 64 kilograms a year. You know, that's about 150 pounds a year. So instead of 15 grams a day, our body needs to deal with 10 times or more sugar. And what's that doing? It's stressing out the organs. You know, and it's creating one of the biggest health challenges in our world today, which is metabolic syndrome, the inability to metabolize. Part of it has to do with mitochondria shutting down due to microinflammation, but a lot of it has to do with the excess of sugar and carbohydrates we have in our diet. You know, when we take carbohydrates, what we do is we create insulin spikes, which aren't good for our health. You know, in the morning, you have a donut, more glucose, there's an insulin spike. Have a snack, chocolate bar, you know, more glucose, insulin spike. Lunch, high in carbohydrate, high glucose, insulin spike. And so on and so forth throughout the day, not much exercise. Now what starts to happen with these insulin spikes, you know, they start to take a toll on the body. You know, your pancreas can handle this for some time, but after 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, your pancreas just, you know, gets exhausted. It's like, I just can't anymore. It actually even starts to produce, you know, mutated insulin. So that's a big issue. What we need to do is reduce the amount of sugars that our body is absorbing. And our second product is designed to do just that. And it utilizes something called chronobiology. You know, chronobiology has to do with our internal biological clock, which tells our organs when they should perform certain activities. One of these activities happens during the night when we're sleeping, and that has to do with the liver. When we're sleeping, our liver converts the carbohydrates that we consume during the day into fat. Yeah, you heard me right. When we're sleeping, our liver converts carbohydrates into fat. Now, there's a reason for that. It has to do with our evolution, but I won't get into those details. But the fact is that what's starting to happen is people are developing fatty livers. A fatty liver is not a functional liver. You know, I thought it had to do with eating a lot of saturated fats when I first heard about fatty liver, but actually no, it has to do with the high consumption of carbohydrates during the day. So in the night, you can see here in the curve in this graph that during the night there's a huge conversion of carb to fat due to the amount of sugar we're consuming in a day. Well, we have a second product which has to do with an active ingredient called Auxilia NR, Night Reset, which reduces the absorption of sugar and carbohydrates, which facilitates, you know, the reduction in the accumulation of fat. Why? You take this with your dinner. It's like a tea. It's very good tasting. And what happens is you absorb 25% less carbohydrates with your meal. So if you eat a plate of pasta, but you have this active ingredient with your meal, you're going to absorb 25% less carbohydrate. And of course, during the night, your liver is not going to convert as much carbohydrate to fat. And what starts to happen is your liver starts to detoxify, and it also helps reinforce your pancreas and helps produce good insulin. So what we've done, we've taken this active ingredient, which also has 10 years in the market in France and in Japan. Just like Orisod enzyme, both active ingredients have 10 years in the market, which is fantastic, because not only do we have clinical studies, double-blind, placebo-controlled, live in vivo clinical studies that are peer-reviewed and published. Not only do we have all the science behind us, but we've also got a wealth of performance data. The products have been in the market for 10 years in Europe and Japan. They've been refined over the 10 years, obviously, and advanced, but we have a wealth of performance data. We know how these products perform. Now, we're importing the active ingredients to the Americas, Orisod enzyme 3. It's manufactured in Europe, but we're importing it to the Americas. Auxilia Night Reset, manufactured in Europe, but we're importing it into the Americas. And we're creating our own branded products. So Auxilia Night Reset, as mentioned, reduces carbohydrate absorption. It's an inhibitor. It also has an anti-glycemic effect, which means that it regulates the insulin and sugar levels in the body. And it reduces insulin resistance, which is very important, because if our body resists insulin, again, it's not metabolizing sugar, and it's going to cause problems. So we've created Crun Wheat. Crun Wheat has Auxilia Night Reset within it. We import the active ingredient, and this is our branded product. It's an incredible product. It uses chronobiology. That's why it's Crun Wheat. Crun is for chronobiology. Nuit is night in French. And it has all of these benefits that we've talked about. Together with Belage, it's a perfect system. 1 + 1 is equal to a more powerful system. That's our philosophy with SANKI Mayor. 1 + 1 is a more powerful team. Corporate plus distributors is a more powerful team. It's not 2, it's 1 to the nth degree. And our system is known as Chrono Wellness, the Chrono Wellness system. Crun Wheat, with the active ingredient that's derived from a black bean, it's derived from a black bean extract, has compounds in it that are very good for our body, to help our body utilize the sugar and fats consumed. And as mentioned, reduces the absorption of sugar and carbohydrates. Has a great flavor, cranberry, blueberry, raspberry type flavor with stevia as well, 100% natural ingredients, organic, and just an incredible product. Now, there's over 13 million people consuming the Auxilia Night Reset active ingredient in Europe. 13 million people. And we've got the exclusive rights for these active ingredients here in the Americas. Orisod enzyme 3, which is in our Belage product, has been in the Americas now for 3 years, since February 2010. Crun Wheat has been here for 1 year. 10 years in Europe and Japan, 3 years and 1 year here in the Americas. And it has 0 time in the US right now. We're in pre-launch mode. We're going to start delivering product in the middle of April, and there's a tremendous opportunity to help a lot of people with these products. With the Chrono Wellness system, you take Belage during the day. It's a powder. You mix it with ½ liter of water, lemon lime flavor. And at night, you have your Crun Wheat, which is the tea. And that's the Chrono Wellness system. These products have 3 characteristics. You can find good products in the market, but it's very difficult to find good products with these 3 characteristics. Number 1, high impact. Fast results, definitely. But number 2, it also has to be convenient and easy to take. Good tasting. and also has to be affordable. Those are the three ingredients. That's the holy grail in terms of having a marketable product: high impact, convenient, easy to take, and also affordable. We have all three. We have all three. We focus on the safety factor, quality control, in vivo clinical studies, not laboratory studies, but in vivo with live people. It was shown that with Orisod enzyme 3, after 60 days, people had 51% more mitochondrial activity. Imagine, if you have 51% more ovens burning sugar and fat in your body, you're obviously going to be able to process sugar and fats in a much more efficient manner. You're going to have a lot more energy, and you're going to be healthy for a very long time. Taste value, very important. Convenience. We focus on the customer's experience. We have a kosher certification. To get that certification is not easy. You have to have all of your plants and laboratories, reviewed, visited, live, and evaluated. And we got the certification, the kosher certification for both products. Now I'm going to introduce you to somebody through images. His name is Armando. Armando's a diabetic. He was a diabetic for 10 years. He was on medications, of course. He tried all the different alternative products he could. And unfortunately, his feet got more and more painful due to lack of circulation, which is a common problem with diabetics. And his doctor, said, Armando, I'm sorry, but you're going to be in pain. He was in pain constantly. He had to walk with a cane. And finally, his doctor said, there's no hope. We're going to have to amputate your feet. No hope. Well, Armando started taking Belage about 2.5 years ago, and it's incredible what happened. Take a look at this. On the left side are Armando's feet, 2.5, 3 years ago, when they were looking to amputate. You can see they're black. He was in constant pain. Here he says, my body had turned into my coffin, longing for a day without pain, and the desire to enjoy just one more day with my body fully intact. The thought of losing my feet was unbearable. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Thanks to SANKI, my dream was realized. Because look on the right side. He started taking the Belage product at first, only Belage, and in 3 weeks, his feet started to heal. 3 weeks. Then he added Kernwheat as well. The circulation improved. The pain went away. They canceled the operation. They didn't have to amputate his feet. He doesn't need his cane anymore. As a matter of fact, I met with Armando a couple of weeks ago, and he was literally jumping for joy, literally jumping up and down with no pain whatsoever. And this is now 2.5 years later, so it's a long-term situation. And these are the kinds of testimonials that we're experiencing. It's not an isolated incident. I've met personally 3 people who are programmed to have their feet amputated, and all 3 canceled the operations. It wasn't necessary, thanks to our products. But our products also help a lot of other conditions because it's all about self-healing. What we have is fine fuel, high-grade fuel, high-octane fuel for the cell and the mitochondria. It's high-octane cellular and mitochondrial fuel for the body. And when you can give your body that type of fuel, the body heals itself. The body is the miracle, not the product. The product is science, it's technology, it's good ingredients, a good foundation. The miracle is the human body and its capability to heal itself. So when you clean it out, when you recharge your ovens, right, the body starts to heal itself. And there are many conditions that are helped. We have amazing testimonials. But it's a situation where we need to prevent illness. It's not just about helping people who have conditions. It's about not getting sick. This is the Japanese philosophy that we're bringing to the Americas. Right now in the Americas, we have a sick care system, not a health care system. They call it a health care system, but where's the focus? When do we call our doctor? When we're sick. Well, if that's the case, the focus is on the sickness and trying to cure sickness. Well, the Japanese philosophy is the opposite. They focus on health. They have a true health care system. Take care of your health. A doctor's job is to help his patients remain healthy. You speak to your doctor on an ongoing basis in Japan. And prevention is what it's all about. You know, Dr. Adeas has come to the Americas now on several occasions and conducted conferences with thousands of doctors. This is all about education as well. And network marketing is the perfect tool for education. Now, obviously, a change in lifestyle, you know, is recommended. Consume less sugar, highly recommended. We need to educate people, but we also have tools with these products to help our body prevent disease. You know, it's all about prevention. A true healthcare system. I'm from Canada, I'm Canadian, and you know, we have social medicine up there, and you know, in Toronto they had to close down 5 hospitals. Now they didn't close down those hospitals due to a lack of sick people. You know, we wish. No, they had to close down those hospitals due to a lack of money, a lack of funds. You know, the current system is not sustainable. Look at the debate, the constant debate about Medicare and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. The true solution is prevention. And with these products, we can prevent. We can take measures. You know, of course, as well, educate people to improve their lifestyle habits. And we're bringing all of this education and this technology and these products to the US as we speak. So say hi to Armando. Is a great guy, and we're so pleased that he's had these kinds of results. And you know, again, because it's self-healing, there are many other conditions that people receive benefit through these products.